Welcome to lesson 6, data manipulation in R. So in this chapter we are going to learn about two important functions. So one is apply family, where we will be learning about different kind of apply function like apply, 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 apply and all those things. And then we will be learning about a very useful package, dplayr package. So what exactly we are trying to achieve through this is, once we learn how to use these powerful packages and function, we are going to learn that how this function would be used to do any kind of data manipulation or to do any kind of data cleaning. So once we learn these two powerful function, then we will see the high level picture why we are doing it, and we will also do a case study where we are going to use all those function. So in apply function, what it does, it has different variant of function like lapply, sapply, tapply and other apply function, which actually run a function on top of each row in R vector or in each of those columns. So it can be a R vector, it can be a R list, it can be a R matrix or a data frame. But suppose you have lot of columns or you have lot of rows and you want to get maybe you want sum of each of those column, or you want range of each of those column, or you want mean or median. What you have to do, so you have to understand. So suppose if it is a data frame, then you have to call that data frame, then you have to access this column, and then you have to get the mean for each of them. And how you can reduce it, so you can create a for loop and then you can do the same. But even if you use any for loop or while loop, still you have to write that function, you have to write all those logic. But in apply function, you just pass on what exactly you want. Is it sum or median or mean or range or whatever you want? It can be an inbuilt function, it can be your own created function, but it would understand and it would give you a result. Suppose if you see this example that we are using apply function on top of a matrix, and we are saying that we want row wise sum for these. So I can understand that this is giving me result of 12, this is giving me result of 3 and 5 and 6. Similarly, I can also get the sum for column wise. So we'll learn about all those syntaxes, all those arguments, but high level try to understand what it does. A apply function, it gives you an option to ask you what exactly you want. So you can say that I want to run this function on top of a R vector or a data frame or a list or anything. Let's get into one level down and try to understand apply function. So apply function takes three arguments. First argument says on top of which data you want. Then second argument whether you want on row or column. So 1 indicates row, 2 indicates column. Then the third argument takes what exactly you want to achieve. So suppose you are saying I want sum. So suppose we have a matrix 1 2 3 4. This is dimension of row and column, if you remember from our matrix classes. And now once the matrix is being created, suppose this is your matrix 1 2 3 and 4. Now if you want to get the sum by row, then you would get it. So by row means 4 and then 2 plus 4 6. But if you change the argument, second argument as 2, which is column wise, then 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 4 7. Similarly, now if you want mean instead of sum, then, and this is row wise, then mean of 1 and 3 is 2 and mean of 2 and 4 is 3. Similarly, you can get the result for column wise as well. Let's quickly understand through the demo itself. So this is the matrix we are going to create, M, and this is being created, and since by default it create the matrix by column. That's why this 1, 2 and 3, 4 is being created. Now I want to understand the sum row wise for each of those row, which is 4 and 6. Now I want for column wise, I am pressing Ctrl Enter for each of that line. Now I want mean row wise and then mean column wise. So this 1.5 and 3.5 is nothing but mean for column wise. So mean for 1 and 2 is 1.5 and mean for 3 and 4 is 3.5. In a similar way, you can actually ask anything. Instead of sum and mean, you could have asked for range, you could have asked for sort. You can ask any function. It would run and it would give you the result. Now let's try to understand the next one, which is lapply. Now apply takes maybe a vector or a matrix, but lapply takes list as a data and the argument remains same. You can pass any kind of function and it would give you a result. So we are going to create a list which is having first list of a vector of 1, 1, then b which is having 2, 2, and then x which is having 3, 3. Then if you apply lapply and you want to understand the sum of it, you would get the result. Let's quickly see the demo to have the understanding. So as I said, lapply is similar to apply, but it takes list as input and output is also a list. So suppose we are creating this 1 to 5, 6 to 10 and 11 to 15. We have created a list called data. You can see the list as well. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. Now let's understand the median. We want to get median. Now if you see, we just pass on that data on top of which we want and which function we want to understand the mean. So first is 3, then 8, then 30. Similarly, if we want to create the second example where we are again creating a list with 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3, which is data 2, and now we want sum. So 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 3, 6. Similarly, if you want mean, then you can get the mean as well. So this is what we can understand from lapply. So as I said, lapply is similar to apply function, but it takes list as an input and gives you list as output. But try to again understand why we would be using a lapply. So suppose we have this kind of list where basically for a city we have a population, the name and capital as well, and then on top of that we want to understand for each of these vector what is the class. So we have to create a for loop, and then you can understand that population is a numeric, this borrow is a character, and this capital is logical. Now if you want to get the similar kind of result with lapply function, then simply you have to pass the data which is New York NIC, and you want to understand class. So this function we want to use. So you would get the exact same result here. Now if you don't want to get this kind of result, instead of that if you want to get a result as a vector, then you have to call this function unlist, and then you have to pass the exact same code lapply data comma function, and you would get it as a vector, and that actually creates the platform for the next function, which is sapply. Sapply is similar to lapply function, but it simplifies the result. So if you remember earlier, it was giving us a list, and if you don't want a list, then we were calling unlist function. But instead of that, we can simply use a sapply function. So if you remember the earlier example where we had a list from 1 to 5, 6 to 10 and 11 to 15 and we are getting this kind of result. So this was a list, and to get a vector we had to call unlist. But instead of that, if you simply call aSupply function, the same exact argument, you are passing the data and you are mentioning what you want. So it would give you this kind of result, which is a vector. But what if the output is actually not a single value? Like it was actually giving you single value because you asked median. Similarly, if you could have asked for sum, it would give you a single result, a singular form, and that's why it's giving you a nice vector. But what if the result is actually more than, the size is more than 1? Then it would also create a matrix, not a vector. And for rest of the cases, if it is not 2, then it would pass you a list. Let me quickly walk you through the demo first. So exactly the same data we are creating, which is 1 to 5, 6 to 10 and 11 to 15. Then you pass lapply and you can see that we are getting the result. We are getting the sum for 1 to 5 is 15, 6 to 11 is 40 and the next one is 65. Now if you want median, you can get the median as well, 3, 8 and 13. And as I said, if you want to have a vector, you have to ask for unlist. Now we would be looking the same result with aSupply. So as you can see, this is for sum, the function we are asking for sum. If you remember 15, 40 and 65, which is exactly same, 15, 40 and 65. And then if you want to have the median, it would give you the same result, 3, 8 and 13. That is how this aSupply actually helps you to get the result. Now what about if you have the result which is more than 1, the size is more than 1, like if you want to have range, with the same list you want range. So for 1 to 5, the range would be 1 and 5. Similarly 6 to 10, 6 and 10. So this is a very good example where your output is actually the size is more than 1. So as you can understand that aSupply automatically creates a matrix. And similarly, if you have more than that, then it would pass you a list itself. So I hope you understand a simple apply, then lapply and aSupply. Now we are going to learn about vapply.